Let's do some more PySpark. Frequent customers. This question appeared in the interviews of Apple and Amazon. In this question, they're asking, find customers who appear in the orders table more than 3 times. So we have this orders table. Let's quickly look at how this looks. In this table, we have these columns here: ID, customer ID, all this other information. They're asking for the customers who appeared in this data set more than 3 times. Okay, so essentially they're asking for this customer ID column, because that's how you identify a customer, right? We don't have a first name or last name or anything like that, but this is a unique identifier. We have customer ID. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to do a group by clause. I'm actually going to use a group by clause on this customer ID column, and I'm going to group those customers, and I'm going to then see a count of those customers and how many times a specific customer occurred in our data set. Okay, so that's the approach I'm taking. I'm using group by in PySpark. So the first thing first, with the PySpark, you're going to do import PySpark. After that, we have this orders table, right? If you want to explore this data set, you can, but I already have a sample here, so I don't need to. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do orders dot group by. That's how you do group by in PySpark. And now specify the column. I'm going to be doing it on the customer ID column, and I'm also going to be doing a count on that. Okay, so let's do a count on that, and let's do a show on it. Okay, let's see what we get. And there you have it. We have our customer ID and we have our counts here, right? So that, for example, customer ID 7 occurred 8 times in our data set. Customer ID 5 occurred only once in our data set. Okay, so you get the idea. So we have the count now, which is amazing. And now in the question, they're asking, find the customers who appear in our data set more than 3 times. So we need to discard all the records that occurred less than 3 times. How can we do that type of filtration in PySpark? It's pretty simple, actually. So first thing first, I'm actually going to save this result set in our, let's just call it orders variable. Okay, and then another thing I want to do here is, I mean, you can actually rename this column if you want to. I'm actually not going to do that, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Now we are looking for how we can do a filtration. So we are only selecting records which occurred more than 3 times. So we can do orders dot filter. That's how you do filtration. It's just like a where clause in SQL. Okay, orders dot filter, data frame dot filter, and then in here I'm going to specify the name of my column, which is orders dot count greater than 3. Okay, and let's just see what we get here. So let's run this. Not supported. Okay, I'm getting this error here because probably this is a keyword. Count is a keyword, so I'll have to do I'll have to change the name of this column here. Okay, because it's actually getting confused here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do with. That's how you do a column rename in PySpark. With column renamed, and we are renaming our count column to, let's say, cust count. Okay, and now let's change this to cust count, and let's see if we get an answer. And there you have it. So the issue was count is a keyword, is a built-in keyword, and that's what you get if you don't do this column rename. That's a default column name you get, and it's okay. I mean, if that's your last thing you need, but the thing is, if you're doing some further calculation, you'll have to change that name, and that's what I did here with the column renamed method here. Okay, everything looks good now. I'm just gonna save this again in orders here, and they're only asking for the customer ID. They don't care about the customer count here because they're only asking for the customer ID here. So I'm just gonna do a select here, so I only select that specific column here. So select cust ID, and you know what, for my solution checker to work, I'll have to convert my PySpark data frame here to pandas data frame. So orders dot to pandas, this will do that conversion into a pandas data frame, and let's see if that's the right answer. And that is the right answer. Okay, so what I did here is very simple approach. I grouped my data set by customer ID and then did a count on that, and I had to change the name of that column count to something else. so I can use it further in my calculation. And that's what I did here. I did a filtration based on this condition that was given to me in the question. And in the end, I converted my PySpark data frame to Pandas data frame.